are students with special education needs included and involved in public schools? According to the Texas Education Agency, the strategic plan provided includes monitoring, training, support and development, student and family engagement, identification and evaluation, and of course, technical assistance. In 2021 to 2022, the number of students ages 3 to 21 receiving services from the IDEA was about 7.3 million, or equivalent to 15% of all public school students. Among these students receiving special education or related services, the most common category of disability was specific learning disabilities. Broken down, these disabilities involved, according to the graph provided, specific learning disabilities, speaker language impairment, autism, emotional disturbances, multiple disabilities. Among all school-age students served under IDEA, the percentage who spent 80% or more of their time in general classes in regular schools has increased from fall of 2009 to fall of 2020. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act mandates the provisions for free and appropriate public education for eligible students with disabilities. However, there are diverse perspectives when it comes to the education of students with special education needs and disabilities. There is an ongoing debate about the effectiveness of special education versus inclusive education. Some believe that general education can be transformed in such a way that special education becomes unnecessary, while others argue that special education will always be needed and therefore must be preserved. However, the effectiveness and appropriateness of inclusion can vary depending on the individual child's needs. It is argued that inclusion is important and appropriate for many, but not all children with disabilities. For students with special needs, having either all or none in general education classes could preclude social justice in education. Researchers find that it is evident that strong leadership at school level is fundamental at creating an inclusive school experience for students. This is because it is important for teachers and other education workers and support personnel to advocate for the IE and take responsibility to include students appropriately within the IE. However, teachers do not always feel they have the necessary level of understanding of students' condition to provide them with the appropriate support. Often, teacher preparation programs do not provide general education teachers with adequate training or experience to work with students with diverse needs. It is evident that the key provisions of IDEA is mainstreaming special needs students into regular classrooms. Research suggests a tension between special education and inclusive education paradigms. Some argue that general education can be transformed to make a special education unnecessary, while others continue importance of special education. It is necessary for the Texas Education Agency and disability right advocates to take full advantage of how educational data can be used as a tool for advancing educational equity. It is evident that children and youth, regardless of the type of disability, special needs, or age, have a profound understanding of their conditions and its effects on their lives. They understand their strengths, needs, the aspects of their school that work well for them, and ones that do not, and they are able to articulate these when given the right opportunities. A majority of special education parents believe mainstreaming helps special education need children academically, and another 12% says that it had little effect. Mainstreaming was viewed as detrimental to special needs students by nearly a quarter of the parents surveyed. Therefore, it is essential for families, teachers, principals, and other education workers to give opportunities to these students to voice their experiences and perceptions regarding their learning, social, and environmental needs. In conclusion, the question of how students with special education needs and disabilities are included and involved in the education community is complex and multifaceted. As we continue to evolve our educational practices, it's crucial that we keep these diverse perspectives in mind to accommodate them, provide interventions and training for the teachers, and to make schools inclusive.